Chris Mackowski of Emerging Civil War, and I'm on the Day 1 battlefield at Gettysburg, next to the monument for the 11th Pennsylvania. And I'm here because my junior partner, Maxwell James Mackowski, has discovered Sallie the War Dog. Sallie was the mascot for the 11th Pennsylvania, and you can see her situated right there on the front of the regiment.
This is my new book about Sallie the War Dog.
One of the most beloved human interest stories here on the battlefield at Gettysburg. As a kid myself, I discovered Sallie and always wanted to come see the little statue of Sallie that's on the front of the 11th Memorial. A great regiment. They are mustered from all over western and south central Pennsylvania, as far away as Pittsburgh, as close as Dauphin County. Started out as a 3-month regiment, mustered in April of '61 and mustered out in August of '61, then mustered back in September, and then they re-enlisted in January '64, serving through the end of the war, finally mustering out in July of '65. Sallie is given to the regiment as a puppy in a basket. Sallie was a bull terrier, brindle colored. They named her Sallie after a female admirer of the folks at the camp who helped support them and gave them goodies and stuff during training. Sallie grew up with the regiment, was in part of all the fighting, stayed close to the color guard. Here at Gettysburg, after the regiment suffered some stunning casualties here along Oak Ridge, she was separated from the regiment as it fell back through town and then rallied up near Cemetery Hill. The 11th PA had 269 men here, 23 officers, and suffered about 132 casualties, including 13 fatalities. And when they were driven back into town, Sallie got separated from the regiment and so stayed with those men who were dead and wounded here on the field, because at least those were men that she recognized, and she stayed with them all through the rest of the battle, and after the battle was finally discovered and finally taken back to her regiment. She stayed with them again through the whole war, and then finally in March of 1865, just weeks before the end of the war, at the Battle of Hatcher's Run outside of Petersburg, she was shot during the fight and killed, buried right on the battlefield. However, Sallie was not forgotten, and when the regiment came back and put up its marker here at Gettysburg, they commemorated her loyalty to the men who had fallen here by putting her on this monument. The story of Sallie remains a great hook for young kids in particular, and a great human interest story here, and canine interest story here on Oak Ridge at Gettysburg. For Emerging Civil War, I'm Chris Mackowski.